Listen, I get it. I understand the frustrations when you start out on Upwork are absolutely soul destroying. You apply for so many jobs, you get no responses, you feel like you're in the dark. But I'm here to tell you now, I'm living and breathing proof that you can make it on the Upwork platform. I've only been on the Upwork platform for 2.5 years, and I've nearly made 500,000. I'm just smidging under 500,000. So that means that I started out in your position once. I couldn't get responses, or I was getting very, very sporadic responses occasionally from dead clients that would then ghost me. All of this is natural, it happens. Don't worry, you're exactly where you expect to be. If you want a full video on how to optimize your Upwork profile, drop a comment in the comments below and let me know, because I will. Today we're going to be focusing on the actual application process and how we start that from an Upwork, how to win jobs on Upwork effectively, is by looking at something that on Mac in system settings is called text replacements. Now, I will put in the description below a link to a Google Doc which has my 3 templates that I use. They are very generic. 99% of gurus who tell you about Upwork don't know how it works, don't win projects on Upwork. I'm living proof that I have, and these simple templates allow me to, with a shortcut on my computer, be able to put the application forward for that, because we personalize every application with a loom, and that loom is what the business owner cares about. And you have between 90 seconds and 120 seconds to be able to convert that user into dropping you a message. That's all you have. Anything longer than that, you're waffling. For some really technical applications, sometimes I do go over, so if you do see me go slightly over that, then there's a reason why. But I just wanted to let you know that not every application needs to take 20 minutes to do. I knock out an application in under 3 minutes consistently, and you're about to see it and watch it live. So with all of that said, make sure your Upwork profile is optimized. That's a given. Then ensure that you turn on notifications when an Upwork job is posted, because that will come straight to your inbox. I have that in my social inbox, so that it's not in my main inbox and I can clearly see all of the Upwork notifications. So that's the templates done. The templates are in the description below. I'm now going to jump into live applications and show you how you make money on Upwork. So we've covered the basics now of Upwork. We've got the text replacements in place that I've given you below. You've added them as you know, and we've got our inbox alerts set up for all of these Upwork applications. On my screen now, you'll be able to see the list of Upwork applications that have come in. And since this, as it stands right now, it's 1 p.m. in the afternoon where I am. And since 2:40 a.m. this morning, there has been an abundance of individual jobs posted, probably in the region of around 30. The majority of them are AI based. So that means we've got a lot of clients to go at. If you do that, that was since 4 a.m. If you think that, let's just say there was 100 posted every day, which there's more of, but if there's 100 a day, that's 3,000 inquiries you can go after. My mindset when I am looking at applying for Upwork jobs right now, as I'm sat here looking at this, is I am going to knock each and every one of these applications out of the park as fast as possible. I also make sure that they are a good fit. Now, I'm going to do this in a way that means that it's applicable to you. There are certain jobs I'm going to apply for here now that I wouldn't probably take on personally in my position in my career. But as an open door for you as a book, when you're trying to win jobs on Upwork and you haven't got it, you better believe back in the day I took on the smaller projects that weren't as profitable because I needed the credibility, I needed the testimonials. And you'll see me attach some of these to the applications. So my mindset now is go. The only thing I'm thinking about is applying for these Upwork jobs. So the first one I see here, if I view job details in Upwork, you'll notice something. This is a social media marketing agency that wants cold email scripts with a CRM and dialer integration. So something like Go High Level and Aircaller, let's say, what they would use. I'm not using any AI to define this. The only things I have loaded up are my YouTube channel, an example for one of my clients where I build out a multitude of workflows, including personalization, and my Make.com profile where I have loads of different flows that I could show off as part of this, depending on what the individual business requirements are. And I also have a system in terms of like onboarding what I use. So when it comes down to the actual process of applications, having my Upwork profile ready to showcase, having all of my workflows that I've built previously, and my YouTube channel. Those are my credibility. That's what I'm going to have to leverage in the first 120 seconds of this video application. So now you're going to not hear from me until in between each application, but I'm going to apply for each one. So let's go. Hi, my name's Michael Elliott, and I've just come across your job brief on Upwork, and I think I could knock it out of the park for you. Not only do I do this every single day for a living, I also have a YouTube channel where I educate other people on exactly how they can make money using AI services and tools exactly like the cold outbound caller that you're looking for. I've built an abundance of individual N8N workflows, from personalization, smart follow-ups and auto-close, auto-callers, everything that you need, customer health summaries, anything you could possibly want, I have built. I'm also in the top 1% of Upwork freelancers globally, so I'm in a really, really strong position to help you when it comes to implementation of this. I work quickly, but I work extremely efficiently, and quality is never sacrificed. Everything that you mention inside of your brief around building an outbound pipeline and recommended CRM, I recommend Go High Level because it's the best system on the planet, especially if you connect to something like CloseBot for SMS backwards and forwards. It is definitely the number one tool. When it comes down to having experience of what you've got, I have a huge experience when it comes down to working with Twilio, Aircall, Go High Level. I knock these out of the park every single day for businesses. It's basically my bread and butter. And I really think that we should hop on a call to discuss this, because I'm confident that you won't find many people better than me to help you with it. My name's Michael Elliott. I can't help you unless you respond. Drop me a message. We'll go from there. Thank you. 90 seconds that took me to do that loom. So now that loom is complete, I'm now going to copy that link. You'll see me go back. I'll go to the Apply Now button. I go to the Apply Now button, marketing automation profile by project. They said up to $800, so I'm going to put it at $800. And I'm going to set 1 to 3 months as the time frame. And then I'm going to go SIM, which is I've built this before, your project caught my eye. Watch this 2-minute plan here. I'm going to attach a file. Testimonial. Attach the testimonial that I've got to it. Add an Upwork job. Pick one of my Upwork jobs that I've seen previously. When it comes down to bidding and connects, this is unfortunately part of the system now. When it comes to Upwork, you're going to have to spend on connects. I can be quite aggressive with the connects that I use when it comes down to bidding. But don't worry if you can't. Just make sure that you're in the top 4 positions. And that's been sent. So I've applied for that Upwork job. Now my mindset is literally, I'm just waiting for the submission to make sure it's gone through. It's gone through. I close that down. I close the loom down. I'm straight back into my inbox. Expert Go High Level marketing automation, appointment setting flow, subscription funnel building. So this is something that I would probably avoid, to be honest. But design and implement Go High Level sales funnel that achieves increased supplier signups to Abra. You could take a look at the website in order for it to make it more appealing. So I'm going to load up the website because it's been provided this time. And then I'm going to hit go on the application. So abra.com. Hey, my name's Michael Elliott. I was just checking out abra.com after I come across your job post on Upwork, and I was looking through it. You're a leader in the B2B marketplace in the Middle East. I actually have a lot of clients out in the Middle East, Dubai, Abu Dhabi. And I understand that you're looking for help with your Go High Level sales funnel. Well, not only am I extremely familiar with Go High Level sales funnels and CloseBot, SMS closure, etc., and internal automations inside of Go High Level, I actually have a YouTube channel where all I do is speak about this and educate people on how they can do this themselves on a day-to-day basis. Now, not only that, I have an abundance of individual N8N workflows that I could showcase to you. literally this would be unlimited, so there's no point in me really going through all of them, but my technical understanding is extremely high. I can build complex flows with sub workflows attached using the code node to be able to create custom code in order to manipulate data. And I'm a top 1% Upwork professional with nearly 500,000 earnings on the platform. So AI automation is my thing when it comes down to your brief, building and optimizing booking pages for sales team calls, setting up pipelines, workflows, tracking leads, provide weekly performance reports and improvement suggestions. That is exactly what I'm looking for, because it's my job to get you on a long-term retainer. That's what I'm looking for long-term clients like you're looking for a long-term solution. And after I've gone through your brief in detail, I don't think you'd find many people that are a better fit than me for this project, Omar. So yeah, I think that this is a really fantastic opportunity. I want to fire this over to you now. I can't help you unless you drop me a message. Hopefully we catch up soon. Not the best loom that I've ever done. It was good. It wasn't the best loom I'd ever done, because I'd found out his name was Omar from the reviews below, which is a tip for you after. You can engage them by mentioning their name once you've fired it over. But it doesn't make any difference. We apply anyway, because this is a numbers game. We apply now. Select marketing profile. Select by project. I'm going to change this to $1,000 because what he's asking for is quite large. You may ask for a bit less or be happy with that, but I'm not. Paste the loom in. Attach files. I've got a couple of testimonials in here, one from the reporting about Canada, so I'm going to add that one as well. I didn't add it to the last one. I'll add the Upwork job as I've just done previously, and then I'm going to boost it. And the current bid is at 5, but I'm going to bid at 50 because I don't want to come back and have to change my bid later for that project in that position. I'm going to go high. I don't advise that you necessarily go that high. I think that it's important that you maintain within the realms of what is actually affordable for you, but also you've got to understand that people will start to come in here and bid for these projects. And if, like, in the next 10 minutes, if loads of people come in and bid, you would lose your position in that race. So we close it again. We go straight back to the email inbox. AI agent builder needed for innovative projects. Let's have a look. USA based, which is always great. Experience design implementing AI systems. The project involves collaborating with our team to create intelligent agents that enhance user experience and streamline processes. Okay. Hi, my name is Michael Elliott, and I just thought I'd put this video together to you to showcase my skill set after seeing your job brief on Upwork. I think I could knock it out of the park for you, but just a little bit about me first. I not only am an expert in this field, I also have a YouTube channel where all I do is educate other people on how to do exactly what you're asking. AI agents, AI assistants, customer service, AI representatives, they're all part of my caliber. They're in my quiver. I've built them consistently. Check out my YouTube and watch me build some if you like. Here are some custom N8N workflows for a client out of Canada called The Reporting Hub. I'll attach their testimonial to this video to make sure that you're in a position where you can see what other people say about working with me. But everything inside of here, from automated ticketing, replies automation using the code node, etc., as you can see, my skill set is quite vast, and I can get very technical when needed, but I also don't overcomplicate things when it comes to implementations for your team, which is really important, understanding the human element of how it will interact. I'm top 1% Upwork freelancer globally. In the AI arena, I'm probably in the top 0.01%, with earnings just a smidgen under 500,000 on the platform, and I'm also expert vetted, which means Upwork have looked at me personally and to judge my skills. They put me through a pretty rigorous test, and I came out of it the other side with the expert vetted badge. When it comes down to AI agent builders, you will not find somebody that is a better place than me. In a recent project for a restaurant out in Canada, I built 19 individual agents for their 5 bars spreading from Edmonton all the way to Calgary, and I knocked them out of the park. So I'd be more than happy to jump on a call and discuss this with you. I can't help you unless you drop me a message. So drop a reply, we'll hop on a call and we'll go from there. That was a really good video. That was probably the best one that we've done yet, in my opinion. You'll have to let me know in the comments what you think. Like and subscribe so I know that you're liking this sort of content. But this is me simply knocking out of the park, one after one, Upwork applications, and I'm doing it live whilst I'm literally recording this YouTube video. And that means that can only be slowing me down in terms of my approach. It can't be speeding me up, of course. So we put that there, apply. We attach the files. We attach the 2 testimonials that I've got. When it comes down, I've got more than that, but I attach 2. And if you don't want to think about it from the customer's point of view, like, do they want to see your life story at this stage? They don't. That's when you sell them, when you're on the sales call. That's how you sell them. But right now, what we're talking about is volume, teaching you your mindset. My mindset's not wavered. I am ready. I'm sick of seeing this submitting of a proposal. I just want to jump straight back in and get on the next one. What is the next one here? There's one just come through. AI-driven health platform MVP developer, future fractional CTO opportunity in the US. We're building next generation digital health platforms that integrates in-home testing. You'll lead full technical execution, blending low-code speed with custom-coded extensions to ensure security, liability, symptom tracker, flare-up indicator, AI recommendation engine. This is our bread and butter. This has a good potential for it to be an actual client of mine. Hi, my name is Michael Elliott. I'm based in the UK, but 85% of my clients are based out of the US. A little bit before we jump into your brief, it's caught my eye and I could knock it out of the park for you, but a little bit about me before we jump in. Not only do I create and build workflows consistently on a day-to-day basis, and I've done for many years, I also have a YouTube channel where all I do is educate other people on how to do exactly what you are asking for, because there's a big difference between actually being able to produce AI workflows and N8N and no-code channels using them, between that and producing something that's production ready, like what you're looking for. So I try and educate users in the right way. You'll see a few examples here. This is an example of a ticketing workflow that automatically closes using Freshdesk tickets that are open. The client had a 20% first response close rate. It now has an 86% first response close rate to its tickets because it's a SaaS business. And I'm a top 1% global Upwork freelancer, and in the automation space, I'm probably in the top 0.1%. When we go back to your brief, I'm quite impressed by the fact that you're looking at this. The MVP must be launched by November 20 and serve as a foundation for our long-term platform vision. I have no issue with that, and I love the fact that you're focusing on digital health, because health in general is a major... I mean, if you don't have your health, you have nothing. So we share a similar passion in that regard. So we can have the functional MVP by November 20th, no doubt, as long as we move quickly. Your scope of work in terms of streamlined onboarding setups, dashboards, system trackers, at-home test kits, supplements, Stripe and Shopify checkout integration. All of this is really elementary stuff for me, to be honest with you. There's nothing in there. Email and SMS reminders, for examples. Like these are basic automations that you're asking for. I'm pretty confident I could knock it out of the park for you. What your success looks like is exactly what I would expect it to look like, and is exactly what I would deliver for you. When it comes to startup mindset and willingness to grow into a fractional CTO role, I would never be a full-time employee, but I do have CTO positions in companies where I handle everything for them in terms of a technical perspective. So I'm more than happy to discuss that later on. My name's Michael Elliott. I cannot help you unless you respond to this. When it comes down to the proposed tool stack, I need more information from you, and I wouldn't do you the disservice of trying to educate you now on how to use like Closebot for SMS reminders and stuff without actually understanding your business processes. I think that anybody who tells you otherwise would be incorrect. When it comes down to low-code platforms with custom coding, Make.com recently launched their own code node. N8N's got the same. N8N is a self-hosted N8N system is probably the safest platform that you could use for what you're looking for. We'll get into all of that on the call. Drop me a message and we'll have a chat. Thank you. Bye. A little bit longer on that one, but the job post was bigger, and the job post was something that was actually appealing to me as a project, so I put that together. But my application process doesn't change. Doesn't matter that the guy, it seems like a really good fit. I know that my approach and my templates get responses, so I'm going to use exactly the same one. I've built this before video inside, so I'm going to change that first. Similar before, because I don't want to say that I've built exactly the same thing before inside of here. Attach files, add Upwork job, boost your profile, going in really hot at 250 connects because it's a big project. That's a lot of money, and I understand like that's a lot of money, but when you think about the ROI, potential return on investment, it isn't, and that's what you need to think of. You get that client signed up on a 4K initial implementation with 2K post-production plus 3K a month as his CTO guy. You do the maths on that over the course of the year, you've made 50 grand. It's worth the 250 connects to apply right now. Mindset. So when it comes down to this individual technique next, we've finished that now. We move on to the next one. Expert AI developer needed for advanced legal document review and compliance platform in Australia. These are coming in hot and live. These ones are literally just been pushed through now. Verify I'm human? Very odd. Of course I'm a human. So, AI NLP developer with deep expertise in building sophisticated AI solutions tailored to the legal industry. Previous legal AI-driven documentation projects. When it comes to let's apply. So, same thing again. Let's roll. Hi, my name is Michael Elliott. I'm actually somewhat of a specialist in legal document reviews. I've done everything from like insurance claim processing, etc., down to specific law firm solicitor conveyancing related automations. So I'm in a pretty good position to help you when it comes down to fine-tuning what you've got. Before I jump into your brief, I wanted to cover a little bit about myself. Not only do I have a top 1% Upwork profile globally, I also have an abundance of individual experience that I actually share with other people on YouTube. You'll see some of the videos here in terms of that, and I educate people daily on how they can most effectively implement production-ready strategies for businesses that vary everywhere from mind-blowing AI search tech to using Nano Banana and VO3 to create production-ready imagery. Here's some examples of complex flows that use custom nodes, which are definitely going to be required in the legal space for you. This is something which is going to be of paramount importance. And I think that this is why I wanted to showcase this to you. But like if I went back into the overview for this client, you can see that I've built so many injection flows, Apollo scraping for leads, churn risk detection, customer health summaries, etc. Full onboarding systems in Make.com. This was pre-Make.com's code node. So probably could do with a little bit of updating, but that is a really comprehensive onboarding flow. And yeah, like I said, I'm a top 1% Upwork freelancer with 100% success score, expert vetted by Upwork themselves, and have nearly 500,000 earnings on the platform. When it comes down to your job, fine-tuning and deploying LLMs for domain-specific applications, like these things are basic to me. Integrate seamlessly with document management systems, billing, scheduling, all of the AR-related systems and flows. I have built them all. Everything from onboarding to client management to accounts billable to everything alongside that. Python, easy. In terms of back-end development, you know, when it comes down to cloud infrastructure, Azure is something that I use almost every day along with AWS. So I have a deep understanding of this, and I think it will showcase to you when we hop on a call, if not in this video already. My name is Michael Elliott. My portfolio is my history on Upwork. I will attach a couple of testimonials from an automation point of view to this. And when it comes down to timeline and budget estimate for the MVP, we're going to have a discussion in detail about that. So I can't discuss that with you until we've had that. But the testimonials give you an idea around who I am. And if later on down the road you wanted to reach out to one of them and have a conversation, that could probably be arranged too. Okay, I can't help you unless you drop me a message. So drop me a message and I'll knock this one out of the park for you. Speak soon. Bye. Again, a little bit longer, but those two jobs that we've come across there are jobs that you'd want when it comes down to the Upwork project. So what are we doing? We're doing the reps. These are the reps that we're putting in. And we're not going to see any fruits of this labor. Am I getting paid for doing this right now? Absolutely not. Like, I'm not getting paid for this. But what I am doing is I'm ensuring that my future self gets paid. And that is by doing repetitions at scale extremely quickly. I'm going to continue to go. Tell me if you think this video is too long. Like in the comments, just say below a few was good. But for me, I'm here now showing you mindset. This is how you have to approach Upwork applications. There is no wavering. I'm sat down here now and I want to sit here, and my mindset is to sit here for the next 3 hours. And I'm not going to take up 3 hours of your time, but my mindset is to sit here for 3 hours and knock these out. And that's why I've earned $500,000 on the platform. I'm going to set a bid really high for this because it's a big project. So I'm going to go in at 200 connects. Again, do not worry about the connects. If you can only afford a certain amount of connects and you need to bid within the ballpark, then do it. But for me, when I see a big project that I know I could do and that I can knock out of the park, I have to bid high because I want to remain in those top positions. What's popped up now? Let's go back. Is there any more? There isn't any more. So now we're going back in time. Automation specialist. That's based out of the Philippines with low spend. I'm not going to entertain that or that one. AI engineer, e-commerce, email to HubSpot, lead automation, Zapier, India, fixed price of $50. We don't want that. NAN expert, France. Let's have a look at this. WhatsApp outbound bot. We're seeking an expert to set up a WhatsApp. This is my cake. Right. This is exactly what I do. I could build this with, like, when I go to sleep tonight, I could build this what he needs. So let's go. Hey, my name is Michael Elliott. I've just come across your job brief on Upwork. I am a specialist at building SMS, two-way SMS systems, whether it be WhatsApp, whether it be inbound messages, two-way SMS responses, email, Facebook, socials. But just before we jump into that, I wanted to showcase to you, I'm actually a top 1% Upworker globally. I have a smidgen under $500,000 earnings on the platform, 4,000 hours build and 100% job success rate. Being expert vetted by Upwork themselves, been put through their testing processes to showcase that I actually am a specialist in my area. There's not many people that have that. If we're talking about automations and how we want to build this out, we can have a look at some of these when it comes down to like client churn risk detection and like these ticket replies here. I increased their first. This is a SaaS business called The Reporting About Canada. I will attach the testimonial below. The phone's just ringing. But I'm going to keep rolling because that's what I'm doing. There isn't going to stop it. I'm going to make sure that that's off. But when it comes down to this, obviously I've got to start that application again because the phone rang. It should now be on silent. But I'm going to go back through this and go through it because I can knock this out of the park for him. So this is an SMS agent. This is something that is my bread and butter. Let's jump in. Hi, my name is Michael Elliott. I'm an NAN expert and a WhatsApp outbound bot setup expert using CloseBot as well from WhatsApp social platforms. I can showcase some real live use cases to you once we get rolling. But firstly, I need to give you a little bit of background about me. When it comes down to me, I'm a top 1% Upwork freelancer globally. I've got a smidgen under $500,000 in earnings on the platform in the last 2.5 years with a 100% job success score, and I'm expert vetted by Upwork themselves, which means that I've actually been vetted by the Upwork team to showcase that I am who I am and I can do what I say I can do, which not a lot of people have. When it comes down to NAN automations, you'll see something like this. This is one example, but this is this is a SaaS ticketing response process that auto closes based off of how the agent develops. And what this means is that a ticket comes in and I increase their first response close rate automatically from 21% to 88%. And I did it in the space of like 6 to 7 weeks. Their workload of their sales team, their customer service team has just tanked, and their customer service team is now eligible to focus on 20% of that actually matters and pays the bills instead of going through asking basic questions that are in the FAQ. So that's just one example. If I go into the overview, you'll see hundreds of individual ones from there, like that I've built out. Onboarding flows in Make.com. I don't think you'll find anybody that is in a better position to help you set up WhatsApp Business API, configure NAN for bulk messaging, customize messages for leads. Personalization is key. Ensure efficient message delivery and provide documentation and support. Like, this is what I do every day, my friend. This is what I do for a living. So I'm a great individual to work with. I'm very proactive. I'm very communication heavy, but I also know when it's time to nose to the grindstone. I have the skill set to be able to deliver what you want. And I can't do that unless you drop me a message and we can get a conversation rolling. Ping me a response to this application and we'll go from there. Catch you soon. So that was another application for a job which is right up my street. Those sorts of outbound outreach systems are relatively simple, but also provide huge value, and is something that you really want to laser in on when you're looking at something like this. Hourly rate, I'm going to lower the hourly rate slightly because of the job. Let's go through SIM, which is my hotkey, paste in the loom, attach the individual testimonials to this, add an Upwork job, select the last one that was complete on Upwork. When it comes down to connects, I'm going to bid at 75 connects, and I'm going to submit. And then I'm going to do one more after this, and then I'm going to run you through some more key tips on Upwork in terms of what the next steps are. Although watching me do this is probably going to be the most valuable thing that you could possibly get from an Upwork perspective. Now, let's close that proposal down. Just always make sure you close the proposals down as you go in between them. AI prompt engineer, not interested in that project. When it comes down to this, e-commerce architect, Google Ads expert needed for home improvement clients. Do you know what? I'm going to apply for this job, and I'm going to do it because it's completely separate to AI, which is what I talk about all the time on here, but it'll give you a background into my applications and how I've grown Google Ads clients on the channel as well, which I think is vital to which I think is vital to you as a viewer to be able to watch how I can just swing from one thing to another. So in the last year, I've handled 20 million ad spend. So let's go. Seeking a Google Ads expert with experience. The role requires 5 to 8 hours a week, optimizing the campaign. Most of our clients only have small budgets, 1 to 2K a month, but they all need more leads. We also want to explore some AI tools. So although they've spent a lot, this isn't a fantastic project to take on. It won't be something that I end up working with, I guarantee you, but I'm going to apply anyway to show you. Hey, my name is Michael Elliott, and I'm a seasoned Google Ads veteran with 14 years experience. Not only that, I have a Upwork profile that has just under smidgen under 500,000 earnings. I'm expert vetted and have a 100% job success score. And in the last 12 months, I've handled £20.5 million in ad spend. When it comes down to other areas and businesses that I have access to via logins, that total number goes up above 50 million. So there's a considerable amount of experience from my side. I also build custom onboarding implementation systems and two-way SMS systems for sales, but from a sales perspective using Closebot, which is something that your clients could really benefit from and would allow you to be able to upsell them at the automation. They would obviously have to pay for that, but it doesn't come at a huge cost. More of a one-off, more of a heavy initial cost with a very small retainer, and then whatever their usage is. But when it comes down to these hours of work, focusing on optimizing ad campaigns, I don't think you'd find anybody better than me. But what I'm not a full-time employee, my friend. I'm too experienced for that. So when it comes down to what you're looking for, if you're looking for your clients' campaigns to be optimized best in class with industry-leading cutting-edge strategies, then I'm for you. If you're looking for somebody to work on your time zone, hop in every team meeting and be available to discuss individual strategies consistently, then I'm not for you. But then again, what are you looking for? Are you looking for quality of ad management, or are you looking for someone just to hop on a call and smile? That is up to you to decide. I can't help you unless you drop me a message. My name's Michael Elliott, and I'll hopefully hear from you soon. That was passive-aggressive, and it was passive-aggressive intentionally. And the reason why it was not passive-aggressive, but that's probably the only way I can think to describe it right now. But that application, what I was making clear there is I've got a lot of experience. I probably handled more than their whole agency does in the last 12 months in its entirety and of its lifetime. And I'm not trying to poo-poo on the agency and the job I've just applied for here. But what I'm trying to say here is they specifically mentioned in their brief 5 to 8 hours of work a week, and then they mentioned during PST hours. I'm based in the UK. What it sounds like they're expecting there is probably like a basically trying to get a full-time member of staff during those hours that they want, and I wanted to make it clear that is not me. So I didn't mean to come across as a bit of a dick, but when it comes down to like transparency, you have to be cutthroat when it comes to your Upwork applications, because I'd rather have no clients than a bad client, and that is something that you will learn over the years. You will kiss a few frogs along the way, and you will learn that not every client and every dollar that you make or could potentially make is a good one. So I'm not going to attach those based off of. In fact, I will attach that. Why not? I'll attach that one. Add Upwork job, scale by largest first, scare them off with this project where I earn $120,000 in a year from PPC, because that'll definitely be something that probably scares them. And I'm just going to bid 50 connects for this. But yeah. Okay, so now that's the applications complete. So I'm not sure exactly how long this video is until this point, like where we're at now. But all I can tell you is that I've just knocked out, I think it was 5 or 6 applications. Each one took me about between 3 and 4 minutes, 3 and 5 minutes, depending on, because there was a couple of larger ones in there that I spent between 2 and 2.5 minutes on, which is ever so slightly longer. Probably need to try and condense that a little bit. You only want to be spending 2 minutes maximum on a loom, because you'll lose the attention span of the business owner if you go on for too long talking about yourself. I hope you caught on the way that I approach it. Straight on the nose, information about me and why I can help, then straight into the brief and some key and core points. I vary my techniques. There are other techniques that you can use. This is the exact formula you should use, but sometimes if it was a massive project, I would look at their exact brief and tell them exactly how I would do it. Like I would go the extra mile and maybe spend 10 minutes instead of 2 going through the exact brief. I didn't see any that were worthwhile doing that during that video. But if you're spending 10 minutes on every application on Upwork, you're doing it wrong and you're never going to make any money on the channel, because people like me are out there smashing applications out like that. Please do not take the last application and the way that I delivered it as me coming across as somebody with some sort of, I don't know, just some sort of chip on his shoulder. Like, all it was is that I could see from the brief what they were looking for, and it sounded like a full-time worker. My aim for this video wasn't to work with that client. It was to showcase you how you apply for them. So that's exactly how I deal with it. If there's something in there that, like, the brief could be amazing, but there might be something at the end that is a little bit of a caveat that I don't like, I will address it in the video, because if they don't like it in the video, they won't message me, which means I don't waste time getting on a call and end up discussing something that I could have just nipped in the bud. If you have a problem, then you should just nip it in the bud immediately, and that's exactly the same when you're applying for Upwork jobs. I've earned $500,000 on the Upwork platform doing exactly what you have just seen. If you do not follow this, there is nothing I can't say any more to you. There's nothing I can do to help you. My profile speaks for itself, my earnings speak for itself, the projects speak for itself, and that is exactly how I have done it. My name's Michael Elliott. I'm a top 1% Upwork freelancer globally. I'll catch you in the next one. Like and subscribe.